Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. This is Professor Diaz, and today we're going to discuss selection structures. So, what do you do when you want your computer program to make a decision? And that is where selection structures come in, because selection structures allow your program to have a decision making process. So, we'll go ahead and we'll get started with that. Let me close up a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. Okay. So first we're going to get a variable called user input, and we're going to set it equal to int, and then we're going to back into that parenthesis. So we want something and we want to convert it to an integer, and that would be input. So type in input, parentheses again, and in those parentheses, write the text, enter your score, semicolon, space. I'm gonna drink a little bit of water. Okay, enter your score, semicolon, space. And then I'm going to press the run button. And this thing shouldn't be covering up, uh, my text, but anyway, it says enter your score in the console. And then I'm going to put a 2, let's say it's a 2, and I press enter. Now what happened there was that the 2 was stored as the variable user input. So let me get rid of this thing actually, we don't need this. So user input is being used to store something, and that is what the user enters in. In this case, it's going to be 2. Now, the reason why we have this int on the outside is because when you use the input function, it gets the result back as a string. So initially, this 2 is entered in as the string 2, not the integer. And we have to manually convert it ourselves afterwards. So that's why we put the int on the outside, because we want to work with a number, and working with a string, we can't evaluate the string the same way we can evaluate an integer. So we have enter your score, and next we're going to start the selection structure, and you start it with the word if. So you see that the keyword itself is blue, so it's a blue keyword. So you write if, and let's say user input. So if the user input is greater than or equal to space 60 colon. So if the user input is greater than or equal to 60, and then I press enter, and if you notice, it automatically indents. This indentation is part of the syntax, meaning it's part of the punctuation of the code. It needs to be indented here because this needs to belong to this. So this needs to belong to this if statement, so it's indented underneath. And what we want to do is we want to print congratulations, you've passed. All right, so we display a message, congratulations, you've passed. Okay, moving this back. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and run the code again. So it says enter your score, and let's say our score is 60. And then I'm going to press the run button, enter your score, 60, enter. Congratulations, you've passed. I'm sorry that my screen's a little choppy here. It's kind of a difficult balance between wanting to be close enough that you can see, but wanting to be far enough that you're able to see the entire code working out like that. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for it being cut off like that. Okay, so we have a score, it's 60, and if it's greater than or equal to 60, congratulations, you passed. Well, what if I put a different number in there? What if my score was 40? Well, what would happen? Well, nothing, because we haven't set anything to occur if another condition is met. So the only conditions that we're evaluating for is if it's greater than, if the user input is greater than or equal to 60. Now, if I want to put something that does another command after, so let's say I want to press backspace here and type in the word else. So if user input is greater than 60, do this. Else, we're going to do something else. And for else, all you need to do is type in the word else, colon, and you need to make sure that this else is lined up with this if right here. So they need to be lined up together. And then I press enter. And then again, it indents on its own, but that's part of the syntax of the Python programming language. We need it to be indented for it to belong to this else. We're going to print you didn't pass. I think that's a nicer way of saying you failed. So you didn't pass if your value is any other condition besides greater than or equal to 60. So now I'm going to run again, and I'm going to enter the score 40, and I press enter, and then it says you didn't pass. So yeah, so this user input goes here, and it evaluates here. So it's like a step-by-step process. So it goes here. If user input is greater than or equal to 60, is it? No. Okay, well, we're going to go to this else then. This is going to print. So no matter what, if it's anything except for the condition we specified up here, it's going to do this. And this is a decision-making process that we've added to our code. So this is the introduction of that. You can go ahead and play with this a little bit and make your own things. But again, just recall that you need to follow this syntax correctly with the indentations, with the code that goes indented in, with the input, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, so that's your first conditional statement, and pat yourself on the back because that's a great achievement. So I'm so happy already for you guys learning programming. Okay, that is going to do it for today. I'm going to stop recording. Thank you so much for listening and have a wonderful day.